What do I do after that? You know, we didn't talk about how to get these off the stage. Any questions? Seriously, this would be a good time for you guys to ask. Oh. Tell the story of the harp again? You mean that I told last time? Oh, you heard it on the radio. Oh, okay. Well, actually, let me ask something too. I've been on tour for about 3 weeks, and every place I went, I said to the people in the audience, tell your friends in Eugene to come see my show on March 7th. Now, how many of you are here because you have friends in Butte, Montana, or Burley, Idaho, or yeah? That's right. You guys, oh, that's so good. Was it everything you were thinking? Oh, you were going to be here anyway. But I'm glad you're here. Oh yeah, you wanted me to tell you the story of you wanted me to tell you the story. Well, what was that story?
Your French harp makers who look at the cycling world.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. So yes. I played the big concert harp when I was a kid. I had a big concert harp, and then again as an adult. But I kept feeling so strapped behind it. I mean, so imprisoned behind it. And I kept imagining that I wanted an instrument that was like, if a concert harp, you've seen one 7 feet tall, gold, right? If it fell in love with an electric guitar, and they had a child, that was the instrument that I want. So I went around and I told all the harp builders in the world that I knew, and they were like, oh, I don't really get it. I mean, why would you want to do that? So finally, I made a prototype, a little one, and I took this little lap harp that was a wooden harp, and I covered it in contact paper, red and silver contact paper, so it looked like a Stratocaster. And I took it to France, and I jumped around like this in front of the most visionary harp builder, a man named Joël Garnier. Jumped around and he was like, Deborah, now I understand what you want. And so he built me a harp, and it was wonderful, and it was about like this, a little bit bigger, and then he kept improving it over the years, and it weighed maybe 18 pounds, 16, 18 pounds, and then every time he'd improve it, it would get heavier and heavier and heavier, until it weighed about 22 pounds, and I was like, I can't do this anymore, you've got to lighten it, and now it was already a new generation of harp builders. And they were like, but Deborah, we do not know what to do. I mean, this is what we do. And I said, look, you're French. Go to the bicycle builders. They will tell you how to build a very light, racing bike. So they went to the racing bike people, seriously. And the racing bike people taught them how to make a carbon fiber harp. So this is built on exactly the same design as a racing bike. It's hollow on the inside, it's made of carbon fiber. If you took 2 bicycle wheels and put them on this harp, you could ride it in the Tour de France. That's the story. Is that the story you want to hear? Yes, it's true. It's totally true. Now it weighs 11 pounds. We had kids up here today. We had little kids in nursery school, and then we had 9 and 11-year-olds. The kids in nursery school were picking it up. It was amazing. It was incredible. And they were like, oh, it's lighter than I thought. It was great. So, Daniel, could I have a little bit more monitor now? You asked for this song. Yes. Yes, you did. So, when I was a kid, I told you that I lived in the San Joaquin Valley. And, with my grandmother, my mother and my grandmother lived there. And my favorite food, was watermelon when I was a kid. And there was a lot of watermelons in the San Joaquin Valley. In fact, my grandmother, She actually taught me to steal watermelons. She taught me how to hold down a barbed wire fence and pull up the side of it. She would go through, and then she'd hold it for me, and I would go through. We get the watermelons. So anyway, she had some rationale why this was okay. I don't know why it was. And you know, I live in Massachusetts, so I'm often telling them, and I'm telling them how hot it is in the San Joaquin Valley in the summer. It's so hot in the San Joaquin Valley that, you know, sweat would drip down the sides of the cars. And another thing that they don't know, but it doesn't seem to happen on the East Coast, roads that were straight in the winter would curve in the summer. Have you seen that? Yes, that's how hot it was. So when my mother and I would be driving in our 1953 green Chevy convertible, and we would come down to the junction of Route 27, River Road, and we would see this big sign that said, ice cold watermelon, 5 cents a slice. Which gives you an idea how long ago it was. We would park the car and we'd sit there, and we'd flick nickels into the tin cans on the table, and we'd eat slice after slice of ice. Cold watermelon. And one day my mother looked down at me with love in her beautiful green eyes, and watermelon juice dripping down her chin. She said, "Oh baby." She said, "Oh baby, you love watermelon, don't you?" And I said, "Oh mama, I do." And she said, "You must remember that. You must remember what you love, because someday you're going to grow up. You'll go out into the world. You will." She was very dramatic. She was a dramatic soprano, my mother. "You will go out into the world. You will leave me, and you will meet men. And men," she said, "men will always try to deny you something." I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's what she said. My father had a completely different story. She said, "But if ever any man tries to deny you this, your favorite food, you drop him like a hot potato." Many people think that drop him like a hot potato is an American term. It's not. It's a German term. Du musst ihn fallen lassen wie eine heiße Kartoffel. 25 years later, in the town of Boston, Massachusetts, it was summertime. Needless to say, I had spent the entire day eating watermelons. I had an other boyfriend at that time, not the one I'm married. He called me up after work. He said, "Hey, what did you do today?" And I said, "Well, it's summer. I ate watermelons." He said, "You know, that's fattening." I said, "It's not fattening. That's why it's called watermelon." He said, "It is fattening. That's why it's called watermelon." I said, "You know, I only had 2 watermelons." I dropped that guy like a hot potato. And then I wrote this song. It's called "The Watermelon Boogie." It goes like this. Watermelon, watermelon, tastes so sweet. While it's the only kind of vegetable I like to eat. Watermelon, watermelon, tastes so fine. I love a spit out the seeds. I love a charm on the rind. Smack your lips and tap your feet. But give me watermelon. My baby told me I should watch my weight. He said a lettuce and tomatoes, they would take just great. He said grapefruit is better than the melon you eat. He said watermelon, honey, it's too darn sweet. But I packed my bags and I hit the street because I love that watermelon. Watermelon, 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 watermelon. I love watermelon, 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 watermelon. I love that watermelon. So I packed my bags and I hit the street because I love that watermelon. thing for me. I mean, I like the fact that the watermelon's big. But big isn't everything. Although it is big. I love the social aspects of the watermelon. I love the cultural aspects of the watermelon. I love the fact that the watermelon lives in community with other watermelons that are all connected to the other watermelons by the vine that all connects all watermelons everywhere, of every shape and size. I love that. Don't you love that? I love the fact that the watermelon is tough on the outside, but soft and sweet and sensitive on the inside. I love that. Don't you love that? I love the fact that you can feel confident with a watermelon. You can sit on a watermelon. But you can't sit on tomato. I mean, you can. You can. It's a free country. You can sit on a tomato. But only once. Take a little strawberry. Inferiority complex. That's why the strawberry puts all its seeds on the outside. It wants to prove how many it has. But the watermelon knows that everything important is inside, inside, inside. This is what watermelons think about. This is what they talk about. And they're talking to each other as they gestate on the vine because they are gestating. They're like the elephants of the vegetable kingdom. They're taking a long, long, long time to make. And you know when people go and they thump on a watermelon in the store, why do you think they do that? They do that to find out what are you thinking? Are you in the middle of some big philosophical thought? That's what people are doing. They don't want to interrupt a watermelon because you never know what's going to happen to you. But you know what? But you know what the whole thing about the World Wide Web? You think people came up with the World Wide Web? No, I don't think so. I mean, watermelons came up with that. The whole vine connection thing. That's why it's WWW. Watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. It's okay. I know that's pretty deep. But the thing that I love most about